ahead. Turn it up. It's the Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Howell.
We had to call the police. Mama drunk.
Wake up, mama's drinking liquor again. Wake up, everybody, 'cause mama's drinking liquor again. Wake up, mama's drinking liquor again. She ain't touched that juice since 72. Something gonna happen, made her lose her cool. Wake up, everybody, mama's drinking liquor again. Now wake up, mama's drinking liquor again. Papa passed out in the shade. Jerry Wayne done brought home a bad grade. Mary losing the backyard and got a rope around the mule. I said, mama gone crazy. Mama sure ain't no fool. Ain't no fool, dog. So wake up, mama's drinking liquor again. Wake up, everybody, mama's drinking liquor again. Wake up, 'cause mama's drinking liquor again. Oh, God. She working on the gin. If she make it to the moonshine, the devil gonna win. Grandma left for Vegas and she ain't coming back. Mama's got the bullets, we can't find the keys to the gun, right? Wake up, mama's drinking liquor again. Wake up, everybody, mama's drinking liquor again. We gon' die. Wake up, mama's drinking liquor again. Help me. Wake up, mama's drinking liquor again. Wake up, everybody, mama's drinking liquor again. Get the dog, but I get the kid. Wake up, 'cause mama's drinking liquor again.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jim Quick to the program. How you doing, Jim?
Fantastic, man.
I just moved down to Myrtle Beach in November of 2018, and a buddy of mine turned me on to your music. I'd never heard of the music before because I lived in Jersey, but he says you're a legend down here, and when I started listening to all your music, man, I was like, wow, this guy is really cool. I got to have him on the show, you know?
Well, I appreciate it, man.
I love all the songs that you have out. I mean, Mama's Drinking Liquor. I love that one. I love Turn Me Over is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, mine too, man. That's cool too. And that's one of my pride penmanships.
So my friend Bob was telling me that that you've been around for like 25 years or more, and that this whole thing started out as a garage band in high school. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. Back when I guess it was actually 2 weeks before my ninth grade year, I'd signed up to join the marching band in Scotland County, North Carolina, it's like in the swamplands between the Sand Hills and the Cape Fear area of North Carolina, just low country, real rural area. And, my dad was a big athlete, and he always wanted me to be, a sports superstar, and that just wasn't in the cards for me. I just was not, just not very athletically inclined. And I met a group of guys right before school, and they were, just immediately we clicked. And by the time my ninth grade year was over, we had started a little garage band. I think the name of it was Power Play or something like that. This was in the 80s, and we had synthesizers, and we were playing rock and roll and top 40 music and stuff. But by the time we'd gotten to college, our taste had matured in the music, of course, and our parents had been listening to beach music and classic soul and blues and rock and roll and country and stuff like that. And so we decided, after I was working at a radio station, a 500-watt AM station, the guys had put together another band while we were in college at Pembroke State University at the time, and they were like, "Come on!" I was like, "No, I was majoring in physics and stuff, and just really didn't have time to do something like that." But lo and behold, I finally just gave in, just because I really out of boredom on weekends, just to do something, and ended up playing with a band that they had named Coastline, which was named after Atlantic Coastline Railroad. So it kind of started from there. We were a cover band for the first few years, and I started writing music and presenting it to the band. And slowly, everybody in the band left for various reasons, and I ended up owning the band by attrition. And 10 albums later, most of our shows are just original music at this point.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You have such a soulful voice. Like, when you were growing up, like, what music were you listening to that inspired you to, want to be a singer? Well,
I didn't. Matter of fact, when I was started with the band, I have a little bit of social anxiety, and I had no intention of ever being a front man. I was a background guy in the band for the first 9 years of the band. I played keys and I sang maybe a fifth of the music, and slowly I'd get up front on stage and got more and more comfortable. I think being in radio made me more comfortable talking on the microphone with people, and the entertainment aspect came into it. And I don't know, I think I almost a Phil Collins situation where I was forced to sing, and it just ended up happening to be that way. And people wanted more and more of it. So, I got to hone that skill as I went, because it wasn't certainly anything that I intended to do, but I naturally had a raspy voice. I don't think I ever went all the way through puberty or something. But regardless, I ended up being thrown to the wolves and learning to sing. And probably the simple fact that I listened mostly to artists like Otis Redding and Wilson Pickett, it kind of just came natural for me. That's the way I heard the vocals, in my head. I felt like that was something that I could do like that.
Now, has anyone ever told you that you're a great storyteller?
Yeah, I've been, I've written quite a bunch of stuff for different people, as far as, newspaper articles and not just songs, but, and telling stories. And I've done a few, clinics and stuff like that as far as being able to tell a story, the art form of that. And I think I kind of learned that from different people. I was a big Ernest Hemingway fan. I was a big Mark Twain fan. And also I love great lyricists like John Prine and John Hyatt, Delbert McClinton, and Kev Moe, and artists like that. They're really good at conveying a story in a very vague manner. That way people kind of can relate it to themselves.
I think that's pretty cool for a guy who says he has social anxiety, can get up there and sing a song, and it's like a story at the same time. So I think that's pretty cool, don't you?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of irony to it, I've won Entertainer of the Year like 19 times for the Carolina Music Awards. And it's just, to me, it's kind of humorous because, just to be blunt, without a little bit of alcohol in my system, I probably wouldn't even be able to do what I do. But it just kind of calms nerves and kind of just hit the ground running.
Like you said, you've won multiple Carolina Music Awards, and you perform a few hundred times a year. What's it like performing and recording with people like Delbert and the Temps and Jimmy Hall, guys like that?
Man, it's insane, and it's gotten more and more. that's something I'm probably more proud of than the actual Entertainment Year Award. I love it when I get awards for songs that I've written, because when people can see, you kind of put your heart on a plate and just hand it out, and people critique you, and it's a very personal thing. And so when you're able to do that, and then you're appreciated by other artists that are your mentors and that become your peers, that's always a really odd thing for me, but it's extremely inspiring. So because of that, after, I guess, 28 years of touring with the band, I'm starting to base the band. I'm moving to Nashville because these guys are asking me to come to work with them and do future projects with them, ones that I look up to, even artists like Randy Houser I've gotten to work with in the country world. Even though I'm going to Nashville, it's not really a country thing. It's still an Americana. To me, Coastline is more of an Americana. It's a hybrid of everything that is Southern. I mean, it's jazz, gospel, blues, R&B, soul, Southern rock and roll, country, rock and roll. All that music, the most popular music in the world, all comes from the South. Mm-hmm. And so somehow or another, I like to take a blend of it almost in every tune that I write to make sure that it's kind of everything's already been done. So you kind of create hybrids of things that you're impressed with, And I think the opportunity to work with artists like Delbert McClinton and just I don't know, it's surreal.
Out of all the songs that you've written, which one is your favorite and why?
I don't know if I have a favorite. They're all babies of mine that represent different time periods of my life, And a lot of times you're always like real fond of the latest stuff that you're working on. But if I had to say historically everything that I've done, mm-hmm. and I don't know, there's a song that I wrote called Trouble in Turn 4. And it really wasn't personal. I did it for a documentary. I wrote a song for Wendell Scott, who was the first African-American NASCAR driver. Okay. And so I wrote a song about him, growing up running moonshine and eventually becoming a NASCAR driver. That I'm really kind of proud of a lot. It's not really typically what I record. Mm-hmm. And I think that's been a challenge for me, and for me to look back on something like that, it's really pretty cool. With Marvin Gaye, I always wanted to be like a crooner. He always wanted to be like Frank Sinatra. So whenever he did songs that were kind of like that, those are always his favorites. So I think sometimes when I write songs like She's My Tequila, which is about basically breaking up with alcohol, and so it's a song, in order to keep my girlfriend, I got to break up with my old girlfriend, which was tequila.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
It's almost like it's like a Willie Nelson type song. So I wrote a song in 6/8, which is like a waltz 3/4 type song, which is something I wouldn't normally do either. So songs like that to me are intriguing. The song called most of my favorites are songs that weren't hits. Like the 14th, it's the 13th annual Going Out of Business sale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's hilarious. What is your favorite song to do live when you do a show?
I've always really been fond of two songs that I didn't write, that I've always coined early on as calling songs for the band. I rearranged them completely to kind of fit more of our style. Okay. But I love Late at Night, which was originally a song by the Subdues out of Louisiana. And I love this song called She Poured It On, which Jonathan Burton, a friend of mine, wrote, which was a guitar player for the Manhattans. So those two songs have always been my favorite. I kind of shoved those down people's throats and made them hits for the band, whether they liked it or not. But I did it via live shows. They were never really like charted, hits for us. They just ended up being, and they ended up getting radio play just because the request factor got so high on them. So I'm kind of proud of those two songs. But as far as songs that I've written live, maybe I love doing Callin', which is a song that I got to do with Michael Rothschild. It was a phenomenal producer. We did that down at REM studio in Augusta, or Athens, Georgia. I love that song. I love playing it live too.
When you do shows, do you prefer a larger venue or like a smaller, more intimate venue?
The larger venues are always really, they're good for morale, and they're really good to boost an ego and drive you to become better performers. And you're on stages with pretty big artists when you set yourself up for something like Elmwood Park in Roanoke, Virginia, and you play facilities like that. But Honestly, I guess deep in my heart, I'm still like a honky tonk guy. So I always like a little more relaxed atmosphere and the storyteller's atmosphere where everybody's I guess if I had to pick which one I like better, it would probably be the honky tonk smaller venues. But, you really can't make a living doing that.
Do you still get the jitters when you go out on the stage? Do you still have to have that, tequila and a couple beers before you go out, or you're used to it now and it doesn't really bother you as much?
No, I get nervous before every show, and I get nervous really when I get there, knowing that there's going to be a certain amount of people that are going to want to talk to me as soon as I get there before the show, and that kind of rattles me up a little bit. But I've learned to put the tequila down. That was a bad advice for me. Now I had to quit drinking, but tequila was. I think that might be the only liquid legal hallucinogenic on the market.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
So I might have like. One good whiskey on the rocks and just leave it at that. Something to just calm me, and then from that point on, it's water and a good time.
I agree with you too. I mean, when I was younger, I used to throw back some hard liquor too, and then you kind of get yourself into a little trouble, and sometimes you're just better off just doing, sipping on a shot of whiskey and having a couple of brewskis,
There's no doubt about it, because in my life, because I live in bars, and for the longest time, I mean, the people think that the definition of an alcoholic would be somebody that had to have a drink every day, which is not, that's not the diagnosis of that disease. It is actually someone that has recurring issues due to alcohol.
Right.
And that has certainly played a part in my life. I mean, I've always had a battle with alcohol, even to this day. It's a situation, but it is for a lot of performers. I think that's probably the most common vice. It's just there. It's readily available on a nightly basis, and everybody's doing it. And you kind of feel like you want to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. But it's caused legal problems, financial problems, marital problems, even problems with my band over the years. I've even lost members due to my abuse of that substance. But it's something that is a constant battle for me, but it's something that I seem to have rised above at recent years. So we'll have to just cross your fingers and hope there's something, a demon that stays in his closet.
Yeah, I read somewhere that. This is your last year of touring. Is that true?
It was when I made the announcement, because I couldn't figure out a right way to continue doing what I was doing. 250 shows a year, pretty much from the Mason-Dixon line to the Mississippi River down to Key West, Florida. The entire southeast United States is about how we were spreading. And I hadn't even, enough is enough. I've done it my entire adult life. I'm coming up on 50 years and old, and I've done it since the age of 21. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, it's just time to let it go. I didn't really want there to start a lot of rumors about what I was doing. Casey Meyer has been a co-writer of mine that's been in the band almost, I guess he's been with me almost 20 years, and he and I decided that we were going to take advantage of this Nashville situation. And so what I did was at the last Carolina Beach Music Awards, rather than even tell the band, management, fans, or anybody, I made this announcement at the award show when I won Entertainer of the Year, because I wanted everybody in the industry to hear it straight from my mouth, and there not be a lot of rumors. So I basically told everybody that it was going to be my last year tour, and I was going to finish up this year, and then I wasn't going to book anything in 2020. Is going to Nashville to write. Well, the backlash of that was breathtaking. I really felt humbled. There's a lot of people that are like, look, we don't care where you're based out of, but you got to come play this event. Just get a band together in Nashville, whatever. And it's not that I'm degrading members of my band. I've had probably 45 members to play with me in and out of the years. They're all phenomenal, wonderful musicians. Mm-hmm. And so it's a situation kind of like Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. It's like at this point, everything's not really focused as much on who's in the band as much as can the band play the material and sell it to the crowd. So everybody knows you can get that out of Nashville if you need be. In the meantime, the band that I have currently, to prepare themselves for a living, they started their own band, and so I put together some other guys, that we had met along the way. They're able to tour a little more outside of this region, and and go on a whim if need be. So basically, I've handed the entire situation over to a new management company that we got, and Sarah is our manager, and we're going to keep the band going. So far, we booked about 20 gigs in 2020 throughout the Southeast United States, and just basing it out of Nashville. So probably won't be playing as much because I still got so much more to do over there. But yeah, the farewell tour is now just really kind of a road to Nashville tour, and then we'll be based. I'm actually moving there permanent. I've been going back and forth since that announcement. I moved there permanently August 1st, and but I'm just going to keep them. I'm booked up the rest of this year. I'm pretty much Wednesday through Sunday, and next year I'm just going to keep going if people want me there, and I can make it work, financially and schedule wise. Then we'll do it. It's on.
So when you go to Nashville, will there be a new Jim Quick and Coastline album?
Yeah, matter of fact, Casey and I are working on an EP right now. I want to release something before I even go to Nashville, actually. I know that's only like 2 months away, but at the same time, I still want to have something out there that represents where I came from while I'm still here. So I want to put at least an EP out, and when I'm up there, I'll be probably releasing various singles and things, different projects for different artists. And I'll always release a Jim. I did a Jim Quick album solo. I've done a Coastline band. I've done Coastline band albums where I use various artists on that album, and I've done Jim Quick and Coastline. So I mean, it's pretty set up to do whatever I want to. Whatever it feels right with that particular material. A lot of times I'll have like 40 songs, and I'll say, these sound more like a King Tyrone and the Graveyard Ramblers song that I would put on that album. This sounds like something I would do solo, and it sounds like something that represents Coastline style. So I kind of can place them and where they want to go, and as I get enough material that I think is worthy of releasing, then I'll just do it like that. That's
pretty cool. Now, you're in North Carolina all this week, right? That's your hometown?
Well, I was born and raised in Laurinburg, but I lived most of my life in Wilmington, North Carolina. Okay. And I kind of consider that my home. Laurinburg is really my hometown. But I've lived the last, I guess, 6 years or so in the North Myrtle Beach area. So, I mean, really coastal Carolina. I spent a lot of time in Charleston. And the coastal Carolina is really my home, just period. And, it's my whole life I live on the state line, so there's never really been a North Carolina, South Carolina thing in my head. It's always just been Carolina.
And you're going to be in North Myrtle Beach on June 16th, right, at Archie's. I think I'm going to go to that show because I want to check you out because I've never seen you before live, and I want to check you out, maybe meet you that night.
That would be fantastic. Come on, we're actually playing. Normally we used to do it in the afternoon, like around 2:00. Okay. And they wanted to move it back to experiment and see. We play there once a month, and we're going to play on the 16th at 4:00. So the show time will be at 4, and that's a wonderful venue to see us first time, because that really kind of shows what I was talking about when we're kind of at ease. It can do more like the honky tonk setting. It's kind of like a upper echelon biker bar.
That's my style, brother. Is it all right if I come and meet you and shake your hand?
Oh, I'd be offended if you didn't.
All right, sir. You know what? I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like I said, you're in North Carolina all this week, and then you're coming back to North Myrtle Beach on June 16th, and that's at Archie's at, you said 4 p.m. Eastern time, right?
That's correct. That is correct. And I really suggest everybody come early. I'm not trying to promote the actual venue on using your podcast for that, but
no, promote away.
I would say this: the food there is phenomenal, and the staff is really cool. But the seating's unique. There's a big bar, circular bar. There's inside and outside. We play on the outside part. There's stage, and they have these bar stools around everything, but it's also like there's outside seating and stuff, on these patios around the stage. So if you get there early, you got to sit where you feel most comfortable, and pick a place. So I always tell people at a Coastline show in the North Myrtle Beach area, I try to come, I'll be there at least an hour early to get where you want to, sometimes even 2.
Yeah, I think me and my wife.
Somewhere to get something to eat and get something to drink. And I usually show up to the show about an hour ahead of time. Okay. And hang out at our merchandise booth to meet and greet with people before the show. So come on.
Dude, I'll be there, and I'll be sure to come up and introduce myself and shake your hand. And anybody else who's interested in, checking out Jim Quick and Coastline, to follow him on Facebook and also check out his website, jimquick.com, right?
Absolutely. And you'd be amazed how long it took me to get that website. I mean, for the forever. And they all link there. I've got swampsoul.com and coastlineband.com. And it took forever for me to get my own name. It just kind of hung in limbo until I finally, I don't even know why the people owned it. They didn't use it. I'm like, okay, this is not the most common name in the world. The only other Jim Quick that I've ever known was the famous Major League Baseball player umpire.
Wow, that's pretty funny. Well, Jim, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm definitely going to come check you out on Sunday.
James, I look forward to meeting you, and I really appreciate the interview, and look forward to meeting you as well.
All right, brother, take care, and we'll see you soon. All right.
Sounds great. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.
Me and Jenny would sneak out back after Mom and Dad fell fast asleep, tugging on lucky strikes. We hid in the knoll of an old oak tree. Mrs. King lived next door, and she flashed the lights telling us to go back home. Going home, y'all. She made me sweet tea for cutting the grass since her old man passed on. Now I don't know what the future holds, but I know where I've been. If I could start all over, I'd do the same thing again. Turn me over like an hourglass. Take me from today and pour me in the past. Turn me over, the sands move too fast. Turn me over like an hourglass. Charlie turned 16 3 months before me. Had an old Ford Galaxy with a rag top, with a suitcase full of songs. We'd cruise all night long, kept the bottle under the seat in case we got stopped. B&J would stay out late and tip the hands of fate, chugging Mad Dog, chasing it with a beer. Christy stole my heart, never thought that we would part. She was gone after our senior year. I don't know what the future holds, but I know where I've been. If I could start all over, I'd do the same thing again. Turn me over like an hourglass. Take me from today and pour me in the past. Turn me over, the sands move too fast. Turn me over like an hourglass. Andy boy, he could roll a leg. Where he got the stuff, I don't know. All we did was laugh, talk about his old folks back in Fresno. Richie loved the ladies, he danced with a million, never took one home. Too busy cutting the rug, he just settled for a hug and a night alone. You go, boy. Now I don't know what the future holds, but I know where I've been. If I could start all over, I'd do the same thing again. Turn me over like an hourglass. Take me from today, pour me in the past. Turn me over, the sands move too fast. Turn me over like an hourglass. Turn me over like an hourglass. Take me from today, pour me in the past. Turn me over, the sands move too fast. Turn me over like an hourglass. Turn me over. Turn me over. Ooh, baby. I wanna go back, baby, and turn me over.